point, we will call
Recording
this
in progress.
meeting of the Addison Central School District School Board to order on July 20th at 6:03 p.m. We will start off with introductions. Jason, if you want to start.
Jason Chance.
Laura Hartham. Sorry.
Mary Heather Noble.
Jess Venable Novak.
Robin Saddle.
Steve Orzak.
Ron Macklin.
Steve Cash.
Nellie Colazzo, Assistant Superintendent.
Jamie Ricciello.
Sonia Afline, Director of Equity, Inclusion, and Restorative Practices.
Thank you. So at this point, we will move to our first agenda item, which is a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Right?
Do you want to do an amendment now, or?
Yes, I think we do need to amend the amend the agenda. Sorry, folks. A little bit of the summer haze coming off. Yes, I think we need to amend the agenda because we have the executive session as agenda item H, and we will need to make a decision on the individual that is going to fill the vacant Shoreham seat after that executive session. So, is there a motion to amend the agenda?
So to amend the agenda to insert an action item after item H to appoint the Shoreham representative.
All right. Is there any discussion about the motion? All right. All those in favor of amending the agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. All right, we have amended the agenda. All right, our next item of business is the first public comment period. Actually, Jason, before we go forward, do we have any board members joining us online?
I think Ann.
I think you're seeing Ann.
All right,
Oh.
yes, I believe that is
That's
Ann
all right.
Mason.
Yeah.
All right, Ann, if you could please introduce yourself.
Now she's on.
All right, try that again. We did not hear you. I tried the first time.
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, so at this point, we're on to our first public comment period. We will start in the room if there are individuals that would like to make a public comment, and then we'll go online. I will remind everyone that there is a 3-minute limit on public comments. So if at this point anyone in the room would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand. Yes.
I'm not good at this sort of thing, so don't hold me responsible. I am.
Do you mind saying your name? And
Sorry.
yeah,
I've
thank you. Just for
never
public
been to one of
record.
these things
No
before.
worries.
My name is Vera Bergeron. I am a Shoreham resident. My daughter is a senior this year at the high school, and we have the privilege of being next door neighbors to Miss Abigail, and I'm here to support her as being on the school board for the Shoreham opening. I think Abigail, does it really matter which one? Because, okay, I think Abby would make a great addition to the school board. She is very determined. She's very passionate. She cares about the future of the school for the kids. She's a great mother. She's got 3 wonderful girls who she teaches all kinds of amazing life skills to, and how to just be great girls. Like today, my 15 turkeys wandered over to her yard, and it was great. She was fantastic and patient, and I think she would do her best and just be determined and bullhead any issues that need to be addressed. Yeah, she'd make a great addition. So I'm not good at this, so that's all I have to say.
That's
All
great.
right.
Thank you.
You've seen some of my missteps this evening, so it happens. It's all good. All right. Did you have anything else to say?
Not that I can think of on the spot because public speaking is not my thing.
Thank you. All right. So at this point, we will move online. I see one hand online. Megan, if you would like to make a public comment.
Go ahead, Megan.
Hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I would also like to say my opinion about how wonderful it would be an opportunity for Abby Murphy to be a member of the board representing Shoreham. I am currently a teacher at Shoreham. I send the preschool, or I send the kindergarten teacher, and K1 last year, and I'll be the preschool teacher there this year. And this year has been wonderful getting to know Abby. She knows the Shoreham community, she knows the people of Shoreham, and she is an amazing advocate for the family and for the children there. And I think she would be an amazing addition to the board as a Shoreham representative.
All right. Thank you, Megan. All right. Is there anyone else in the room that would like to make public comment? All right. And we will go back online. Is there other individuals online that would like to make a public comment? All right. Anyone online would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand so that we can see it. All right, at this point, I'm not seeing any other comments in the room or online, and so we will move to our next agenda item, which is agenda item C, a recommendation to approve the minutes of June 22nd, 2026.
So moved.
All right, is there any discussion about this motion?
I thought these were especially clear minutes. Thank you, Mary Heather.
Is there any other discussion? All right, we will move to vote on the motion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. All right, the minutes from June 22nd are approved. Our next order of business is the Addison Central School District bills, and I will turn that over to you, Jess.
Wow. Okay. Bear with me, everyone, because there's quite a few. So the first two are from June 29th. So we have a general fund warrant in the amount of $532,927.66 and a payroll warrant in the amount of $111,639.80. There's also a general fund warrant from June 30th, because there was a few things in that last day of the fiscal year that needed their own stack of things to be approved. So the June 30th general fund warrant is in the amount of $133,469.28, as well as a payroll warrant in the amount of $104,634.12. And then there is the first few bills of the new fiscal year. So a July 10th general fund warrant in the amount of $1,182,678.12, and then a July 8th payroll warrant in the amount of $196,625.97. And I'm happy to make the motion to approve the warrants that I just read.
Yeah,
Go for it. Great, I would love to make that motion.
yeah. All right, so you're
That's
saying
me making the motion.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I am making.
We're a little rusty here.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any discussion about the motion? Nope. All right. We will go ahead and vote on the motion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right. We have approved the bills. Thank you for going through those, Jess. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Colazzo. Wendy is in a CESA meeting currently. She's going to join us later on in our agenda, and she said that if it's the board's pleasure, she's happy to report on the beginning of the CESA conversations and how that went. But for now, I will turn it over to you.
Hello, everyone. So our first order of business is the personnel appointments, resignations, and retirements. I just want to point out that we're really excited to have filled the position of the full-time non-union non-step for athletic trainer. That's one of those pieces that we're really looking forward to. We are also really happy that Peggy will be covering for the appointment of for the classroom teacher that we had filled, but unfortunately that person had couldn't take the position due to a distance and a moving. So we were really happy that we found Peggy to cover for us. And then we had a late resignation. So those are those pieces that I wanted to highlight for today regarding these.
I'll make a
Yeah,
motion
you're in there.
to accept the appointments and resignations as indicated in the what is this called?
Agenda? Amenda?
Thanks, Rob.
Yikes.
All right. Is there any discussion about the motion? All right, we will go ahead and vote on the appointments and resignations. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. All right, the appointments and resignations have been approved.
Abstentions?
Oh, sorry. Yes, any abstentions? Yep. So,
Thank you.
all right, so we have made it to agenda item F this evening, which is board candidate introductions with questions and answers. And so we have a vacancy on the board in the Shoreham seat. That was left by Barb moving to France. So tonight we have two candidates, I believe, that are interested in filling that role. All board members should have letters in their email from each of these candidates, I believe. And so the plan is to have the candidates both introduce themselves, answer questions that the board has, and then after we have gone through that Q&A session, we will go into an executive session to discuss the appointment, and then we will come out of executive session as we amended the agenda to make the decision on filling that seat. Is there any questions from board members as far as processes or anything? Is anyone missing any of those emails that I referenced? All right. So I think at this point, if the individuals that are interested in being candidates for the board, we would like for you to introduce yourselves. If one of you wants to go first, we don't have a particular process, but yeah, if either of you would like to introduce.
I'll go. Abigail Murphy, most of you have known me because I've been coming to these meetings frequently since before the merge with the Shoreham Bridgeport communities. I have been involved with that in all the leading up to that, with meetings here, but also in the community. Been on the PTO committees, transportation, trying to figure that out, and after school programs in our communities. I feel that as a I've been immersed in Shoreham and the ACSD community since I walked through this building. So I graduated from here in 2006. So I have been around for a while, and I have a lot of connections with a lot of families within ACSD. I am a mom of 3, as you heard, and a business owner in the next town over. And so have the flexibility as a mom to be on board and be committed to learning and be here. I have also been a foster parent within Addison County. So advocating for children has been huge on my list to make sure they are safe and happy and finding community and connection.
Yeah, and so I think we'll have the other candidate introduce themselves as well, and then we'll move into question and answer. Does that work? All right. Yeah.
Okay. My name's Deborah Pinkerton, and you know that I came and visited for the last meeting and then also sent a follow-up letter. So I thought I would just bring that and maybe just highlight some of the things I wrote in the letter and elaborated a little bit. But I will start off to say that both Abby and I both bring sets of strengths to the table. They're different strengths, but I will attest that Abby is a wonderful neighbor and she's a wonderful mom, and I've enjoyed getting to know her. And as she serves, she knows that I would support her, and I know that she would do a wonderful job. And so, but again, I bring some different strengths to the table, and that's okay. So, like I said, I'll just read some of this. And this letter was sent on June 23rd after I visited. And I said, Dear Dr. Baker and ACSD School Board, thank you for the opportunity last night to observe and to learn more about the duties of a local school board. Everyone was very welcoming, and I felt very comfortable following the discussions. And then, well, I kind of jumped to my credentials, that I have a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education English. My teaching certification is current. I have a master's degree in English, and I also have a doctorate in educational leadership. In my career, I've been involved in higher ed for over 20 years as an adjunct instructor and/or a writing tutor. Most English teachers serve as writing tutors as well, so I've been in education for a good amount of time. And we were from Pennsylvania, and so where I worked was in Philadelphia area colleges and universities. I currently teach English composition online for one particular university in Nevada and for one in Pennsylvania, back where we're from. We know with COVID that education went online, and so some of these opportunities I had, I just stayed online. I am certified to teach online. I'm also a substitute teacher in the ACSD district. I've subbed in 3 of the buildings in this district, and I feel like that affords me a perspective that not everyone has. As far as my family, I'm married. I have 4 grown children. All 4 of them have graduated from college. I enjoy 4 grandchildren, one of whom has special needs, is on the autism spectrum. And so I feel like, again, that affords me a particular perspective that not everyone has. I have owned a home in Shoreham since 2014. As far as community service, I volunteer for Meals on Wheels through Middlebury Agewell. I lend a hand as a poll worker in Shoreham during election days. I have served on Shoreham's Planning Commission. And the reasons for serving, so if one of the questions would be, why would you like to serve in this capacity on this board? I'm semi-retired, which means I do have the time, and I'm interested in giving back to the community in a way that uses my training and my experiences to benefit, I want to say, not only Shoreham students, I mean, obviously, I would be representing Shoreham and their needs, but I'd also like to benefit all of the students who are represented in our district. To be able to contribute to creating policies. And I did close the letter by saying that I'm respectful. I'm very respectful, Abby, of the fact that others might be interested in serving this way. And I just close again by saying thank you for your consideration, Dr. Pinkerton.
Thank you. All right. So at this point, board members, we've heard introductions from both candidates. I think we can open it up to a Q&A. I think similar to how we navigated the conversation with previous board seats, I think let's keep focused on topic at hand, our questions kind of concise, and I think use these candidates' time efficiently. So anyone with questions? Jason.
I'm just hoping you could each tell us your thoughts on the district's equity-based strategic plan.
That's fine. Full disclosure, I would not be able to give a lot of information or details on that. But that doesn't mean if I was on the board, I would make sure that I would become familiarized with it and be able to contribute the best that I could.
I think just to make it easy so we don't keep having going back and forth, Abby, you introduced yourself first. Deb,
Okay.
you answered that question first. So the next one, if it's two, we'll have you go first, Abby. We'll just kind of go
Okay.
back and forth so there's some system to it.
Is Abby going to answer the?
I would answer the same way. I think that equity and equality is a huge thing. I grew up with a handicapped aunt who was nonverbal or non-ambulatory. So there's a piece of that for me as well.
Jamie.
Thanks, you guys, for coming here. I was wondering if maybe you could just say, to the extent to which you're familiar with our work, what you see as a few important things facing the board over the next year, let's say. What do you think? What's your understanding of what kind of things we'll be dealing with?
I think right now there's conversations of the Cornwall and Weybridge, and I think that's pretty big. I think that being an open conversation has been good from what I've heard from the community. And I think another year of keeping an eye on our budget is going to be huge. With all this coming down from the state, I think that we are there's a lot of change in the next 5 years across the state, not just in our small towns.
Thanks.
Well, I would agree with the budget and finances and some of the changes that have transpired recently. But I'd also say as an educator, that one of my priorities that I see and that I think I've heard more about is supporting students in the classroom outside of, I want to say, technology and cell phones. And, you know, in education, there was a shift to get technology into the classroom. And now I think there's a little bit of a shift to manage it a little bit better, especially with students coming in from the summer and just having free reign over cell phones and iPads and all kinds of digital. So, and I see it in higher ed as well. So these seniors are going to hopefully go off into college or into a trade where they would not, well, they have to be equipped. They need to be equipped to be able to use AI and AI tools and ChatGPT tools. However, we want to also manage that as they come into the classroom. I think one area that I see could use improvement is working with students to get back to understanding how just the art of reflection and mindfulness. And instead of always having to be so busy that they sometimes have concentration issues. And so I think I would be very supportive of the teachers at all the grade levels on how to manage technology and their ability to focus and, to be able to focus better in the classroom. And I think that'd be advantageous all around for the educators and for the students to be able to manage that. So.
Other questions, Steve? Both of you mentioned that you would be that part of your job is to advocate for Shoreham, the community. This is a district-wide appointment. Could you please address how you will keep the focus on the district rather than the individual school?
I think it's your turn, Deb.
It's fine. Well, I think my focus, first of all, coming in would be as a learner and to show humility in being able to learn from the members that were on the board already. And I think that some of the policies, I would be interested in some of the policies being set for the students. And I think it would just really concentrate on whatever the policies are that would be presented to be able to learn the most that I can and to be able to contribute some of my background, some of my experiences. I mean, things like curriculum mapping, being able to analyze data on how students are performing as far as the learning outcomes. I think identifying the learning outcomes for the different age groups, for different grades, being able to analyze the data of how they're performing and how to turn it around and improve their performance, and to learn what their challenges are. And again, filling the Shoreham seat, but also seeing what the needs are of the other buildings in the district and trying to just make a difference in contributing to the policies that the board would make. I want to say as a team unity, a team person, as far as what's discussed and what's decided, the best that it could.
My understanding is that we all represent all children and staff within ACSD, and my decisions and to take this seat is based on the conversations that are being had in these communities. I have been in the Bridport community. My children are in 4-H clubs there, the Shoreham community, as you all know, but also Cornwall and Weybridge communities. I chose my kids to do a different daycare or pre-K school program and so I met Ripton families and Cornwall families and Weybridge families, and these conversations have all school conversations have happened with all of those people through my connections there, and I have some pretty strong relationships with other individuals in other schools. And I grew up in schools. My mom is a retired teacher, so I do see the importance of education and public ed and what it really means to kids. And I think that's my. Thank you.
Ron.
So, while if selected for the seat, you would definitely represent all ACSD voters and families. We would, as the Shoreham representative, be counting on you as kind of a liaison with the Shoreham community. And that community will be going through like a lot of changes in the coming year, as you're well aware. So, I guess my question is what you're hearing from your neighbors that you would like to bring to the work of the board.
I think there's still a lot of unanswered questions for both communities on this consolidation. but this is the second time around, so I think we're as a community trying to make the best of it and figure out what is best for all of these children in this big transition for them. How we can support all of the teachers because it's a big transition for teachers as well. I think there is only 2 teachers from Shoreham that are going to be at the Bridport building, but other support staff will be there. I think just making sure that the kids are, I think that for me, and I'm in the building, I've been in the Shoreham building every day, and having conversations. My kids are in t-ball and soccer and having open conversations with parents at those events and just so
Well, I think we all realize that change is not easy for a lot of people. There are some people that thrive on change, but some people, it's just difficult and any sort of change. So, I mean, I would be going in with the mindset that, this is change. And it's change for families. It involves, transportation. It involves, sports. I mean, I served with Molly Kerr on one of the committees. I mean, she's a wonderful addition to our community. But when I subbed in the Shoreham building, is it Jenny Erdman, who's the principal over at Bridport now? And so I worked with her and worked with other, some of the other teachers. And again, I feel like being in the classroom, understanding classroom management, understanding curriculum, understanding the needs of the children from an educator's perspective of being in the classroom, and things like the library, subbing for Abby in the library, and just understanding how the school functions is a different perspective that I feel like I can bring to helping the families in their transition. So we do know families also and have heard different conversations, and some of those conversations can get quite emotional. And I think something that I would bring to the table would be trying to keep a calm demeanor, try to be a good listener, try to come up with different options. And so, I may be thinking one option might be, advantageous, and I might have a conversation with someone else that would have a completely different perspective. And I'd like to feel like I'm a flexible kind of person that way. When it comes to making decisions, I would like to be firm when the decision needs to be made, but I'd like to also be flexible to hear the hearts and not just, it's not just paper and names written somewhere. They're families. They represent many years of being in the community. Like Abby's been in the community many years, and she could tell you some of the stories of these families a lot better than I could. But I do feel like since I've been here 2 years, that I've gotten to know families and have served in the town and could represent the town in this transition as best they could.
So, other questions? All right. Call. All right. I think at this point, for the 2 candidates, is there any last statements you would like to say to the board or anything?
just thank you. And I will, if I don't get the seat, that I will still be here, as you know, sitting right here, supporting as best I can.
I'm sorry, I just was trying to actually remember the question that I asked when we've gone through this before, so that's why I was sort of playing.
Do you want your question?
Yes. I did want to just.
I call organized.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to be consistent as we've done this process before, and I feel like it's a little more fair if we have our questions kind of similar, as the issues are similar. So the question that I asked last time, and I'll just repeat again if you guys will indulge me, is what thoughts or creative solutions do you have for the board as it tackles the challenge of facilities planning and our 5-year capital improvement plan?
So Deb, I believe you're up first on this one.
Thank you, Laura.
Well, if I read correctly, I think Barbara, that was the committee that she served on. Is that correct?
It's one of the committees she serves on, yeah.
Okay. I think that I would have to first of all go to the sites and learn more about the needs of the sites. I can't say that I know all of the buildings from that perspective. So I would need to go and so one thing that I've learned in life is that, you know, when you take on a particular venture, you don't have to know everything about that, but you do need to know the people who know what you don't know. And so I think if I served on the board, I don't expect myself to, I mean, I have a lot of confidence, but I don't expect myself to know everything. And what I would do is I would find the people who know the things that I don't know and know them better than I know them. And I would just ask a lot of questions. I mean, education, that's really, you know, one of the first things we learn as educators is to learn how to ask questions. And so I guess I would just visit the sites. I would ask a lot of questions. I would try to connect with the people who know and understand what all of that involves. And then hopefully I would be able to bring to the table information that would benefit, again, the whole school district. And that's the best way I can answer that for right now.
It's about she's exactly right. It's about learning and listening to our communities and listening to just our communities, meaning teachers and parents and kids. I think also listening to our little kids. They might be little, but there's a lot in there. You know, this is, for instance, my kid is 6, never ridden the bus, and she all of a sudden is calling one of the bus drivers, not the that's not the nice bus, and like how, you know, so these kids are having baseline conversations, and we need to be listening to them as well, is kind of the gist of that. But also, I think our 5-year plan is gonna change. It could change over the next 5 years based on what happens at a state level. And so I think we also need to be ready for that and thinking about bigger changes and how to support all of our community through those changes, not just what our thoughts are for the next 5 years.
In the interest of asking basically all of the questions that were asked last time, I'll ask Taryn's question, which is, what's the main motivation that brings you to the board?
I think having 3 little girls that are young, entering the schools system, and been a foster parent and seen that end of things as well. I also want to be able to support our children, and the best way that I can is serving and learning from you guys and working as a team to continue to support our children and our staff.
Thank you.
For me, my motivation is I'm an educator. I've been an educator, and I want to stay an educator. And my experiences, my credentials, I'm a community member that pays taxes. I am a parent, so I understand, even though my children are grown and I have grandchildren, I remember the days when they were coming through school just like this, and I was involved then. And I just feel like some of these experiences I can use to benefit the school district and decisions and policies that are made.
Thank you. Board members, is there any further questions? Right. All right. So, Abby, you've had a chance to address the board. Is there any additional thoughts that you would like to share after those last couple questions? All right. Then I will turn it over to you, Deb, for any final thoughts.
I would be excited to be able to serve. I've had a chance to get to know some of you a little bit. Now, when I had this first conversation with Barbara, I wasn't sure. And that first time when I came, it was just to really kind of check it out and not have a lot of confidence. And but I feel like as I've gotten to know some of the issues and some of the people and how the board functions and the jobs of the board, I started getting more and more excited. And so I would like to be able to bring that confidence and excitement to the board.
All right. Thank you both for your time and for submitting your emails and taking time on previous occasions to be here as well.
Great. Thank you so much. Are we dismissed?
Um,
Want us to stay or are we dismissed? How's this work?
At this point, you are welcome to either come or go, your own accord. We will continue to move on through our agenda. We do have an executive session where we'll be discussing the appointment, and then after we come out of that executive session, we will be voting. At this point, as a board, Wendy has offered to share an update on her CESA meeting. If we would like to do that now, we could do that later in the agenda as well. So I don't know what folks would like to do. If, Wendy, you are willing to.
I am. I serve at the pleasure of the board, and I'm getting these ladies' phone numbers while we.
All right. Yeah, Jamie.
Can you just clarify? I wasn't sure. So they will not be here during the executive session.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure that you guys understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Second public comment.
Yes.
Do that.
So we can
Okay.
do in the second public comment and then do the CESA update. We can do the CESA update before.
Just don't want to miss that opportunity because there are still a bunch of people online.
Yes, we definitely will get to the second public comment. Would people like to do the CESA update before that? All right. Do we need to amend our agenda to do that?
I don't think so.
All right. All right. So Wendy, we will turn it over to you for the CESA update. And then what we will do is it will go CESA update, second public comment, then we will go into the executive session. And then after that, we will come out and vote on the vacancy and then we will adjourn. And so you are both welcome to stay until the point that we get to that executive session. And then
The question is, how long is your executive session going to be?
can
Can we stay till you come back, or could you vote before? If you want to be here for that?
No, we will do what we have on our agenda
Okay.
and as we amended it. I am not going to speculate on how long our executive session, just so I don't put myself in a position where I waste a bunch
Okay.
of your time waiting for us to be done and we are having important
Your link
deliberations.
will be back open though. Is that how that works?
Yes, that is the plan afterwards.
Right,
we will
correct.
open
After
that
your
back
executive
up.
session, your link will open back up.
And I'll also call both of you.
Okay.
And so we're welcome to stay for Dr. Baker's
Absolutely.
report?
correct.
Okay, so I'd like to take some notes.
Turn it over to you.
Okay, so we did have the first meeting of the CESA that we are a part of, which I think is the Chittenden South. I might not have that name quite right in that sense. We're all happy to be in a room together, and there's a lot of interest. There were staff from all districts that many of the districts that I think I was the only one from ours, but many of the districts who also attended. A couple of board members from the districts. Today was an organizing meeting. We have set a schedule of meetings where the third Friday of every month we'll be meeting from about 9:30 to noon. you know, it's a lot of upfront work. Adam Bunting and I are co-chairs of the CESA, so we will be trying to learn as much as we can about the processes that we need to follow, so that we can get it up and going as smoothly and efficiently as possible. There is a statewide cohort that is forming of members of CESAs that can learn together around some of the national models and so on and so forth, so that we're all able to kind of do that efficiently and at scale. And we voted to go ahead and join that cohort. I think there's some maybe some worry on the part of all of us about you know, the process of standing up a CESA and the costs of that, while we understandably have to continue those duplicated services inside the district. So you know, for example, to get an executive director on board that is going to be able to move things forward, they aren't going to be able to move it forward right away. So that those are kind of a duplicate cost. So there's that's on all our minds. For each of the districts, the superintendent is the designee, voting member. I thought that we would appreciate understanding that. So you know, we kind of just worked through some of the basics, and the next time we're going to meet is September 18th. Yes, an independent, and 7 days are papers of record, and CBSD, Champlain Valley School District, will host the website for now. You know, so there will be a dedicated website, and we will have a link that points to that. So we'll make sure that Darcy puts on our calendar those meetings as well. They're public meetings, and you know, the board members themselves will try to be in attendance, but I'm sure there'll be a Zoom link as well for anybody that would like to come in. They're recorded, you know, and posted just like we follow all the same open meeting laws as regular boards do. So are there questions or thoughts?
Jason,
Can you just remind us of the districts that we are grouped with?
Yep. So Champlain Valley School District, it has the high schools people know most. That's where CVU is the high school, and the surrounding towns around that. Mount Mansfield School District is Mount Mansfield Union High School, Jericho, Richmond. You know, those are the towns that are kind of in that area. And then there's Addison Central, Addison Northwest, Mount Abe School District, and Lincoln School District. And the Career Center as well.
any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Wendy.
Sure.
Stepping into the spotlight quickly.
That's okay. It's fortuitous that was this evening, and so you know, it was. I just thought you'd appreciate knowing that at least we had made a start, and we have a series of scheduled meetings, and we'll continue.
All right. So at this point, we are on to agenda item G, which is our second public comment. We will operate the same as we did during our first public comment. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. We will start in the room if there's anyone that would like to make a public comment, and then we will move online. Is there anyone in the room that would like to make a comment? All right, so we will go online, and I'm seeing one hand. So, Rebecca.
Hi, I also wanted to just speak on behalf of Abigail. I am proud to support Abigail for the school board. She's a thoughtful listener, a strong advocate, and a proven leader who is deeply invested in our community. While she is running for the Shoreham seat, Abigail understands that every decision made by the school board impacts children and families across all of our towns. She is committed to ensuring that every child is supported, valued, and given the opportunity to succeed. Abigail consistently puts kids first, listens with an open mind, and leads with integrity and compassion. She has my full support, and I encourage others to support her as well. Please know that I had to pre-write this so that I didn't fumble over all of my words, but I am super excited that we have some Shoreham residents who are willing to take that toll and join the board and helping others.
Thank you, Rebecca. All right. Well, continuing on, I'm not seeing any public comments in the room, so we will stick with the online public comments. Is there anyone else online that would like to make a public comment? All right, we'll do one last call. I'm not seeing any hands online or in the room. All right, so that concludes our second public comment period. So at this point, we are contemplating entering executive session. Is there a motion?
I move to enter executive session for 1 VSA 313A3 to appoint a public officer. I'd like to invite Doctors Colazo, Baker, and Bullfine into executive session.
All right. Is there any discussion about this motion? All right, we will vote on the motion. Anne, did you have a comment?
No, I'm just waiting to be unmuted for voting.
All right, thank you. All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. All right, the motion is approved and we will move into executive session. All right, at this point, Mary Heather, I think I will turn it over to you if you're prepared or if you need another.
Sounds good. So, for the board action of appointing the Shoreham, seat on the board, until, the end of the term. And I guess it's ends March
Of 27.
I'm not sure what specific date, but March of 2027. So I'm going to go around and just name board member names, and if you can, please identify whether you are voting for Abby Murphy or Deb Pinkerton. And it would be helpful if you just are very clear about that. So I have
lots of B's in those names.
Top of my list is Steve Cash. I'm assuming you'll be voting, Steve. So
Abby.
okay. Jason Chinks.
Deb Pinkerton.
James is not here. Laura Harthin.
Deb.
Ron Mack.
Abby.
Jamie McCallum.
Abby.
Myself, I'm voting for Deb. Steve Orzik.
Deb.
Jess.
Abby.
Ellen.
Abby.
Barb Wilson is obviously not here. Robin. Abby. And Anne.
Abby.
Seven votes in favor of Abby, 4 in favor of Deb. So Abby.
All right. Well, we have selected the Shoreham board member at this point, and that is the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.